So I said, my favorite thing is to be compensated and taken care of for the value my sexy energy brings a person. That way I can take good care of myself and my kids and still stay a very feminine, authentic woman. I am really learning the art of receiving and going with the flow for the sake of my own good. I've spent years in the feminist trap of trying to prove my worthiness beyond my beauty. And at the end of the day, people keep wanting to pay me for pictures and videos of my sexy ass, way more than they want to pay me for any of my graduate level content. And this year, I am surrendering to that, taking the path of least resistance.
That's fine. Well,
resting more, turning into myself, healing my nervous system.
It's okay. And did you refresh it, Nick, before you?
No, didn't refresh it.
Just do a refresh. Audio.
These days, money.
I
I have a little cash, a little hook in me. I don't know how you want to say that, but it's just a primal, obviously, drive to provide for myself and my kids. I just love it when men are generous with me and pay me. And that doesn't mean that it has to be like a man I'm dating is like handing me all this money. It could just mean guys compensating me appropriately. Honestly.
So.
That's really sad.
And one thing I noticed about that clip, there's the cash thing. You're also wearing a cross.
That's crazy.
When you say that, I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I do these little things on purpose because I'm trying to blend multiple different concepts, because to me, a lot of the problems in society is this really black and white thinking. And I'm trying to blend the idea that, listen, girls, I'm almost 40. I already got married, had kids, the whole thing. I'm in a different phase of life now.
Wait, so you're trying to blend Christianity and being a cash?
No, I'm just blending concepts, symbols.
But I asked you about the cross that you're wearing, and in the video you say what percent, something about being a cash slut, and you're trying to blend.
Well, she said she had Brian. She did say, and I'm gonna make sure that this is in context for you. She has, quote, a little bit of in her.
Yeah, I do.
So you're trying to blend Christianity with being a little bit of a hooker.
I'm not blending Christianity. I'm not saying I'm
No. You said the word blending. You said the word blending.
Blending concepts, symbols and concepts.
Right, so you're blending.
Yes.
So because you responded to that because I asked you about the cross you're wearing, which is a Christian symbol.
Yeah, so I'm a provocateur. I love it. I love people coming at me.
Blasphemy?
If we want to call it blasphemy.
Well, let me ask you just a very quick question.
Because the cross,
and then if you don't mind, the gal in the back in the center, surprisingly, for some odd reason, even though she's a Pentecostal, she's been kind of based this evening. So I got to get her response to this too. But I have to ask you this question: are you familiar with the laws of logic? Honest answer: are you familiar with the laws of logic?
Are you asking me or her or both?
No. To the blonde.
Oh.
Has a little bit of hooker in her.
My name's Desiree, the cash slut.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm bad with names. It's actually not an insult towards you. I'm just bad with names.
It's
so
okay.
Desiree,
blonde is fine.
Are you familiar with the laws of logic?
I'm not sure that I would understand it the way you do.
Fair enough. No problem. One law is the law of excluded middle. And so what this is saying is that a proposition is essentially either true or it's untrue. It cannot be somewhere in the middle. So when you say black and white, I'm not interested in black and white. From a logician standpoint, they are interested in actually what you would consider black and white, which is either a proposition is true or it's not true. So I need to ask you specifically, is being a prostitute good or is being a prostitute bad? So the proposition is being a prostitute good or is it being bad? And using that second law, the law of excluded middle, where we can't get into the gray area.
Okay.
Is it good or is it bad?
For me personally, every situation I get into, whether it's prostitution, if we want to call it that, or whatever, I only do it because it feels good to me. So to me, it's good. Now, that doesn't...
Prostitution is good.
Only to me in the way that I do it because that
but
feels...
we're only talking about you.
Yes, because it's different for everybody. It might not feel good to you, and
Wait,
so that
I'm
wouldn't
very
be
sorry.
right.
I'm very sorry to interrupt. Did you just say that feels good to you?
In the way that I do it, yes, it does. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it if it didn't feel good to me.
What? So then it's not a little bit of prostitution in your worldview good.
I wouldn't say in my worldview as if it's good for everybody. I'm simply saying
But it's good for you.
for me. Yeah, it works
So
for me.
then you're not a little bit of you're a lot
I'm
of
a
it.
lot of it. A hooker.
A lot of it.
I
Okay.
guess, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we got some clarification.
Yeah.
Now, going around the table, I just want to ask the same question. If you can just raise your hand, is prostitution good? If it's good, raise your hand.
Oh.
If it's
And
Work
the
might be a better way to
I just
say
want to
it.
ask, are the people who raise
Is
their
that
hands, are the people who
strippers,
raise,
OnlyFans
hang on, just relax. The people who raise their hands, are you prostitutes?
No, if it's a consensual thing between two adults, like in Amsterdam, and you want to do that, and you're not hurting anyone else, you're not doing it with or anything like that, and you guys
Yeah, no,
wanna make
I
it,
understand.
then I think that's perfectly
yep,
okay.
I totally understand your
No,
position.
That's not what I do. That's not
Yeah.
what I think is right.
So then why'd you raise your hand?
And then to the other gal who said yes, are you a
I am not a prostitute, but
have you
I
been one?
Have you ever done sex work?
no, I've not done work.
Okay, so then let me ask this question. This is my very quick follow-up. If prostitution is good, why don't you engage in it?
You just do it.
So it is good for specific situations. I don't do it because I have chronic health conditions and because it is not good for me personally to engage with because I don't need that kind of exchange.
So let us assume for a second you did not have the chronic health conditions. Would you, and you knew it would make you a lot of money, would you do it?
I've considered it just because I do erotic art and I do a lot of different things.
Wait, hang on, back up. What is erotic art?
Well, I draw other models, other people, in erotic, but artistic, passionate, and a very
What does erotic
effective way.
mean in this sense? Does that mean they're having sex while you're drawing them?
That has happened, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So you have considered having sex while a person draws you. I assume you consider that to be. Hang on, I just want to make sure I get this right. I assume you consider that to be prostitution.
No, I don't consider that prostitution. I mean, no one's getting paid there, and
But if they were, would it be?
that would be more like porn. And I
sex
don't know
work.
if
Should we
porn
call
is
it
prostitution?
Shouldn't we call it sex work as a
Well,
more broad
isn't
term?
pornography prostitution?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's call it sex work. Can we just switch the term?
Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to give a pass
Well,
on. We'll just call it sex work as though
I mean,
that's not prostitution.
okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So just
You
to go
missed,
off
Brian.
of
You
your
missed.
own
You
point.
failed. You failed.
we tried.
So just to go off of your own point, prostitution, is one thing, and by law it is in some places illegal. However, once you bring a camera into the picture, it is perfectly legal to do. So,
Sure.
which is why, like, in general, prostitution I think is a good thing because it helps a lot of people psychologically get the release that they cannot get from the majority of
Have you not
people.
seen the porn statistics?
But let us assume we're
But we're not
deviating.
talking about. We're talking about.
Hang on. I'm going to give her a chance to respond to all this, by the way. I really am, but I just want to make sure we get this clear. Were it so that you could make a moral distinguish, so not all laws are moral, right? Can you make a moral delineation between having sex on camera for money versus having sex on the street for money? There's not really a moral delineation there, right?
There's not, and I do not think that prostitution should be illegal in any way.
Right.
Just like porn is not illegal. Just
Got
because
it.
there's not that much distinction, which is why combining it into the entire sex work combination and conversation wouldn't quite fit because prostitution is different from pornography only because of the law.
Yeah, only because of the law, but not
Only.
morally, right?
But
It's the same thing morally, right? Yeah, okay.
It's similar morally.
What's that?
It's similar morally because is also acting, and a lot of people on there are doing it for the entertainment of other people who ask for it versus one-on-one situations.
It's entertainment for the purpose of the person asking for it.
A lot of times it's for the therapeutic purposes and for the
What do you mean therapeutic? It's because guys want to
certain
jerk
people
off to
have
it.
different kinks, for
Like,
example.
come on, like, let's be real.
okay.
It's not therapy.
Go on a
it's
walk,
a bunch
take
of
deep
DJs who want to
breaths.
jerk to it, right?
But the thing is that people's sexuality carries so much shame innately that they can't go. A lot of people feel they can't go and access those parts of themselves in any area of society except maybe with a sex worker or a thing. And so what I have loved about let's just call it what it is. I love going to strip clubs because we just all know what we're here for. There's no freaking guys lying to me and saying they want to marry me when they just want to sleep with me. It's just, let's have a good time. It's just on the table. I think it's more ethical, to be honest.
Why is it more ethical?
Because it's a clearly expressed, honest, this is what you want, this is what I have to offer, this is how much it costs, here we go. Versus, again, many women, we've all had these experiences with the lines with guys. They take us on a date.
I don't understand. Wait, hang on. Hang on. I don't understand why that would be more ethical. If the delineation
because there's no line.
Is just, hang on. If the delineation line is just, well, he says that he wants to go watch strippers, strip, and I'm going with him. Why is that somehow more ethical than if he tells you, I don't want to go watch strip with you? I don't get that.
I wasn't even saying that context. I was saying as a human being, when I enter a strip club, especially me being a woman, when I enter a strip club, I feel a lot more safe than if I go, for example, to a concert or some other thing surrounded by guys who think that they can come up to me and tell me whatever line to get whatever they want from me. If I go to a strip club, I know what these men are here for, and I'm only here because I'm fine with it. It's a safety because of the transparency and the honesty of everything's just out on the table of why we're all here versus all these deceptive little
That's
games.
super weird, though. I don't actually understand that.
It's just
if
real
you're in a
talk.
strip club, do you think that women who work in strip clubs are more or less likely to be assaulted than like a secretary?
They're actually a lot less likely because they actually have the street smarts. I'm not talking about the women who are just so sheltered they don't actually ever get into any danger. Of course, they're physically safer. But let's say I'm a social worker.
So you think that prostitutes are less likely to be assaulted than secretaries?
I'm saying it's simply, okay, I'll put it to you this way. If you drop a secretary in the middle of the street in Long Beach because her car broke down, girl's not going to have a good time. You drop a stripper, she's good. She's street smart. It's true.
I actually interviewed strippers. That's a lie.
So do I.
That is a lie.
That's my work. I talk to these people all day, every day.
Hang on. If a secretary got dropped in Long Beach,
too late.
Statistically, she'd probably be fine. But if a secretary became a stripper, the statistics of her getting SA'd dramatically increase. Same thing if she's in any kind of sex work.
Okay, but you're looking at the wrong variable. You're blaming the sex work for the danger. It's not that.
She's putting herself in a situation where it's literally just men that do not respect
You know where I got abused the most?
I'm trying to say something.
In the church.
Okay.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well,
that's where I got abused the most.
Okay, the church, of course, every sector in life has abusers.
Well, it's really funny that you bring that up because in public school, you're far more likely to be SA'd than if you're inside of a church.
I was very in the church, in school, in my own home, everywhere I've gone, I felt the most safe in
Mighty, can you read this?